I'm
That,
doing good. Appreciate you for having me.
no problem. Thank you for coming on. That was a great game in Naz, man. You guys were clicking on all cylinders.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yeah, that was one of the better performances we put out so far this year. So I feel pretty good about that one.
Yeah. So, do you guys have a lot of fans that travel to your away games, or not really?
I feel like there's probably a few.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's usually for sure at least three or four I can think of that I usually see at a lot of their away games. So
Yeah.
shout out to them.
Yep, definitely. And then you saw us Rattler fans cheering you guys on after you guys kicked our ass the week before.
Yeah. Thanks for you guys making the trip too. Appreciate
Yeah,
that.
no problem. So, you guys got a big test this week against Bay Area. Tell me about it.
Um,
Mm.
game in the West round. Good team, good coaching staff. We know they're going to be well coached. They obviously play hard every weekend, so it's exciting. These are the kind of games you live for if you're one of those guys that you call yourself a dog. So I'm excited myself to go into this matchup for sure. But it should be a good one.
Definitely should be definitely a good one. And I'm nominating you right now for a defensive player of the year. But
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
I wish I had more votes than one, or hopefully this show people will see it and get you nominated.
Yeah, that's all I can do is put it out on film every week in,
Mm-hmm.
week out. I'll continue to do so because I would absolutely love it. I'm going for MVP. Defense for the
MVP.
year is not enough.
Yeah, okay.
DPOY not
And
enough.
and a championship.
Yeah, we need all those.
Yep. Your defensive line though is stacked. How do you like playing with Hernandez and Claude Davis and yourself?
It's honestly been a great time. Honestly, I think we're one of the best defensive line trios in the league for sure. For a lot of different reasons. Part of it being
Mhm.
we have one of the best, if not the best, D line coaches in the league, and Xavier Jackson. Hall of Famer in this league at the same position. I don't think it gets better than that.
Yeah.
Going along with just the natural talent of Zone Claude, it just makes things easier to play out there. We all kind of bounce off each other. I think we're all pretty well balanced within ourselves individually, but together we balance each other out. So we're able to play off of each other really well, make some really good plays out there.
It was funny. I'm friends with Xavier Jackson, and I was talking to him, and I've talked to him before on like Facebook. And then I was talking to your coach, and I didn't know that was Xavier Jackson, so I felt like an idiot. But I just realized it today, so it's funny.
Yeah, great guy, man.
Yeah,
Great guy. Great coach. Even better person.
I'm really impressed with the Vegas Nighthawks players and staff and everything. You guys are definitely a top notch organization. You know.
Yeah, it's been fun to be here out here in Vegas.
Hmm.
Just getting to learn the city and getting to learn the program. I think we've started to really build a nice culture over here in Vegas.
Hmm.
It's nice to see it come to fruition a little bit and also have that bond with these guys here that we've been building a culture.
So, are definitely going to come back for one more season after this?
We'll see. Like I said, the goal is always to get out. So that's always what we're hoping for. CFL, UFL.
Did you like those
We'll see where the
balls,
journey
the
takes
camo
us.
balls that the Wranglers were playing with last week?
They were interesting. I've never seen them any balls like that before. So that was pretty interesting to play and see those for the first time. I thought that was pretty cool.
Hmm. So, Snowy Boyd said hi. Sniper said hi. So, you guys play Bay Area, and then after Bay Area, who do you guys play?
I believe Iowa at home.
Iowa at home, and then Tucson and Tucson.
Something like that. I don't know. I
You
don't really
just
look
you
too
just got to
far
take
into
it
the
one
schedules,
step at
honestly.
a time and concentrate
Yeah,
on
that's
Bay
all I ever
Area.
do. I figure out
Sorry,
where's the
I
next
jump
week,
ahead
and
a
that's what
little.
it is.
Hmm. So, you're going into your fourth year, fifth year
Fourth year.
playing, fourth year,
Hmm.
and are you guys home? But then your next game is also home, right?
After the Bay Area, yeah. Yeah, I think
So
a nice little home stretch or a little bit for these next 7.
next 7, yeah, it's the playoff stretch, man. It's gonna be definitely interesting. You guys play,
Yeah, this is the best time of the year.
yep. You guys play Bay Area, and then Bay Area has to turn around and play the Rattlers first place after that week
Yeah,
if it goes
definitely possible for sure.
Tucson this week.
Hopefully
That's
that
gonna be a good
goes the
game.
way that we need it to go too. That's always a good battle.
You need it to go Tucson beating Arizona
No,
like they
absolutely. I
did.
need it to go that way. That would be nice.
I know. I
That would be
I'm gonna
nice.
have to disagree with you on that one, buddy. But
Well, yeah, understandably, respectfully. I understand that.
mhm.
Can't be mad at that one.
So Coach Davis is okay with after the season me getting your jersey. If you're okay with
Hey,
it, I said to him,
if the big guy gives the okay, I can't say anything wrong about it.
yeah, that would be awesome, dude. And I am a Jackson, so
It
it'd
works out in
be,
your favor. Absolutely.
yep, definitely. So tell me what you like best about the IFL, like just in your words.
Um, I think the thing I like most about the IFL, um, there are a lot of good things that I've experienced so far in these 4 years, but I think the best part probably is the fans.
Hmm.
This is probably the most immersive fan experience you'll get, I would say, as a sports fan. Being able to be so close to the field, being able to interact with the players, and so many chances that you get. Um, I think that's pretty unique. I don't think a lot of other professional leagues have that. So to
Mm-mm.
be able to have that and have that experience and be able to, really learn the city and its people has been a really eye-opening and good experience. Unless you really learn just how big the world is and just how small.
Yeah.
That's been really interesting and really fun to experience.
Do you guys go to the casino at all, or do you guys just stay and practice? And
We'll make some trips here and there. I feel like it's hard not to when you're out
yeah.
here, but try not to spend the game check too much, of course.
Hmm.
But we'll make some trips here and there whenever we're feeling a little lucky.
Yeah. So you gonna get an interception this week, or what's your best play that you've ever had?
In the IFL or just in
IFL.
general, the best play in the IFL I probably had was a pick six, probably I'd say, in my rookie year
Yeah.
at Tucson against Nas. I ended up dropping off the line of scrimmage, picked off a dig coming across from the other side of the field, took it all the way back to the house for like 20 to 25. So that was pretty cool. We talked about it all week in practice. It was a play I was looking forward to. Hoping that I can get it and just telling people, not just a D lineman, I'm pretty athletic myself, so I can go out and do the best of them. I think that I tell people that all the time. So
So we need
it was just funny to be able to have it play out that way that weekend.
they need to put you in on onside kickoff coverage, and you can be
And maybe one
Desmond
of these
Bland.
days.
That play was
One of these days.
amazing.
It was. Shout out to DB, man. Shout out to Dez.
Uh
That was a
huh.
great play.
Yep.
Funny enough, he said that was the last time he scored since like eighth grade.
Since eighth
So
grade.
yeah, so great for him. Great game ball, great touchdown ball. I'm glad
Did
that
you
happened for him.
Were you guys able to live it up, or was he still talking about it like this week?
Oh yeah, he's gonna talk about it for a while, honestly, and he should.
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah,
a play that
definitely.
most of the linemen get to make. So yeah, we're,
Hmm.
we're gonna hear about that for a while.
So Mallory was saying that that's actually his play and his spot.
It was actually funny enough. He was supposed to be there that play. I don't even know how the sub came to happen, but yeah, that could have been Moses. That definitely could have been Moses. I know he's sick about it. He's still sick about it. I'm sure.
Hmm.
Um, that's funny. I
Yeah.
know I've been hearing him joke about it a little bit at practice, so it's definitely a funny moment.
Send a shout out to Moses Mallory for the ball, though.
Absolutely. Big shout out to Big
Yeah.
Mo. Yes, sir. See, the offensive
Yeah.
guys always get to give out the ball. You got to find them.
He
Anybody
got me a
watching, if you want a
ball.
ball, go to the offense.
Yes. He got me a ball, and I got him one of those medallions, the Nighthawks
There we go.
medallions.
It's a good
Yeah.
trade.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't have a
Quentin,
ball, so
you still don't got a ball? You can't get one?
no, really can't. The only balls I get are if I actually get an interception. Like I have my ball from that
Mm-hmm.
interception I talked about in Tucson, but it's the only ball I have.
Jeez.
And
Yeah,
so the
I
defensive guys,
told
no
people
love.
we'll get you some love.
We'll give them some. Well, hopefully it pick this weekend, and then we'll
I'm
be a
I'm gonna start
completely
a
different story.
I'm gonna start a Action Jackson for MVP chant.
I appreciate it.
You
Hopefully it
definitely
sticks.
you definitely deserve it, man. You're a outstanding guy.
I appreciate it.
So and my buddy was even raving about number 0 on the Nighthawks. He's like, dude, that dude's a beast. My
Well, I
buddy
appreciate
Jody.
it.
Yep. You're definitely
I'm glad.
getting
I'm glad.
you're definitely making strides, man.
I appreciate it. That's what we work for. So I'm glad to hear
Yeah.
it.
Do you feel like teams gun for you or like put more protection trying to stop you?
I would hope so, honestly. That's it's a pretty good feeling to have as a D lineman, as a player. I would say, having the other team game plan for you.
Hmm.
So as much as an annoyance it might be to prepare for that, I think it does give a big shout out to the hard work that I put in each and every week. So I would hope teams do. I can't tell as of now, but I would hope they do.
I would think they do because, but then see they gun for you, and then Hernandez or Davis has a field day, right?
You never know. We got a whole kennel full of dogs over here in Vegas. So,
Hmm.
it could be Claude, it could be Zoe, it could be mine, it could be APJ. Whatever three of us are out there, it could be any three of us anytime. I think that's what makes
Hmm.
it so dangerous. It's just how it goes, and that's why teams probably don't. It's because they can't. We just have too many people across the board that can injure you or hurt you. So if they
And
don't,
then
probably for the best.
Bobo was having a field day on offense. He's
Yeah, man.
going.
Shout out to Bobo, man. Shout out to Bobo. He's having a big season right now. And that's
Mhm.
definitely a guy that deserves it. I've watched him put in a lot of work over this past off season and last season, even during the injuries that we both were going through. So very happy and proud to see him doing what he's doing right now. And I know
Yeah,
there's more to come. So
Quentin Randolph, CJ Wyndham. You guys
yeah,
are loaded, man. You
we
guys
got
got
some
some
guys on that
dogs.
side of the ball,
Hmm.
man. We really do.
Dolores coming in his own.
Hmm. Might say another guy that's really starting to see the say for him. He's been really doing a lot of, always love to see the offense, mad at that at all.
Yeah. So how hard do you guys go in practice at each other? I mean, you can't go full 100% because you don't want to injure the offense, and they don't want to injure you. But it's like
Um,
contained.
I- it's pretty competitive. I think that's one thing I will say about this group of guys that we have. Just in
Mm.
general as a team, not even just on one side of the ball. We have a lot of competitors out here in Vegas. So that just competitive energy and that dog comes out in people when they go against other competitive people that are also.
Mm.
I think we're blessed enough to have that on both sides of the ball. So you can imagine practices get a little chippy here and there. A little smack talk and a little bit of whatever. Whoop, whoop. But at the end of the day, we are all brothers, and we all do have that type of camaraderie and bond about us that we can snap back right after the smack talk and the little jabs and all that. So, practices are contained, but we still show a lot of competitive nature. So they're pretty good.
Awesome. So what's it like coaching for? I mean, playing for Mike Davis?
No, it's been good. He has a lot of experience, as a coach, and
Mm,
obviously not even just this league, but in other professional leagues like the CFL. So, being able to kind of tap into his knowledge here and there about the game has been pretty good to have as a player. Obviously, having a knowledgeable coach that knows and has been in multiple different situations over his career is always a good thing to have. So, it's been good to have that and be able to use that to our advantage as a team.
mhm. Do you think there will ever be a IFL All-Star game, or it just doesn't make sense?
That's a good question. Um, Honestly, if there was, that would be dope. I think that would be super cool if you could make it happen. There are a lot of guys around the league for sure that I think would be deserving, and definitely some guys that I would want to play with too. So, I definitely wouldn't be mad at seeing it happen. I don't know all the logistics that it would take to make it happen, but
Mhm.
just simply, I could see it put just a East versus West type of thing.
East, yeah, I was gonna ask East versus West.
Yeah, that's the
Mhm.
best way I could see it put. I wouldn't mind that at all. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. So, do you have a 1-year contract, or you're taking it? You sign a 1-year contract every year, right?
Yeah.
Can you sign for more, or you just every player has a 1-year contract?
Um, I think it's just usually a 1 year contract, as far as I know.
Mhm.
For me, that's all it's been since I've been in the league. Um, I can't really speak for everybody else, but
Has the AF1 contacted you and you just think the IFL is better, which it is, or
um, I haven't really talked to many AF1 teams. There was only one that reached out to me this past off season, but I
mm,
had already signed to play here again. I already knew what I was coming back to, so I saw no need to even give that a chance or a thought. So
yeah.
shout out to them though. I'm not mad at the arena game still expanding and having multiple
Mhm.
leagues. That's a great thing to have.
Yep.
Gives a lot of other chances to other ball players that don't get the opportunity. So shout out to AF1.
So, we were talking about your base at the Vegas Nighthawks. You can hear it when you're on the field, right? Or do you block it out?
Um, I definitely can hear it. I've never really been one to block out the noises like that. Honestly, I think they're
Yeah.
all part of the moment. I think they're all
Mhm.
what make the moment the moment. So I tend to hear a lot of things on the field, but yeah, for sure, it gets really loud in there. Um, it just it's definitely one of the better places to play in the IFL for sure. I'd say
So you
it's
can
just
hear
it's
the
the base
fans
is
yelling
insane.
too?
Yeah, I hear everything. I hear a lot of things.
Yeah.
Um, and, it's a lot at once, so it's not always legible. But there definitely is a lot of things to hear going on around, just whether it be fans or the music or announcer or whatever. There's a lot to be heard.
So are you going to be watching the Green Bay Jacksonville game here shortly?
Yeah, actually, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. I'll probably go between watching that game and watching some more film from my own tomorrow. So,
Yeah.
love some good football time.
You guys have a walkthrough in the morning or something you got to do?
We had ours today, so
Yeah, yours today.
tomorrow is just strictly game day.
Yeah. Do you guys
hmm
practice inside the Lee's family forum, or do you practice outside?
When we can, we'll practice in leaves. There are a lot of things going on there. Usually throughout the season, they
Mhm.
have the hockey affiliate team, the Silver Knights, in that same building as well, along with the professional volleyball team, the Vegas Thrill. So, oh, you can't even forget the Desert Dogs either, the pro lacrosse team. So we share that with three other professional
Mhm.
teams. So it can be hard to get in there as much as you would want to. But
Yeah.
the fields we practice on outside are pretty solid grass fields. Good on the legs. If it's not super hot outside, it's not a terrible day. So it's a pretty
When
good
is it not
situation.
super hot outside in Vegas?
I mean, I think once you get used to it, until it hits around triple digits, you're not like super duper hot.
Yeah.
I think as long as you're under triple digits, you can manage. But once it gets to triple digits, now it's a very different ballpark.
So you think the teams that practice outside are more conditioned than like do you think conditioning definitely takes a toll on the teams?
Um, I mean, I would say it has to, but not to an extent.
Yeah.
Um, I think for the most part, most of us that are in here have had years of experience training to play outdoors on a much bigger
Mm.
field and still train outdoors when they're in the off season. So the ability to do that and then come into a much smaller field, I think usually plays out well when you do it that way. I know a lot of the guys I've trained with, including myself, do it that way too. But this is a game that can get you can get you if you let yourself get got. Obviously you can only have so many guys on the game day roster. So, if one guy goes down, you might have to bring a guy from the other side of the ball to play his position. And now that means another guy from that same position has to step up and take his spot. So you might have guys
Mhm.
playing a lot more than they usually do. And that happens more often than not. So not being in conditions for sure really can hurt you more than you would think so in a small field.
So knock on wood, if a offensive lineman got hurt, would you be the one that go in? Or would that be
Um,
Claude?
right now, I'm not sure who it is.
Yeah. I mean,
It
I hope that
was
doesn't
Lee.
happen.
Yeah, it was Lee Autry. But obviously he went down with the ACL,
Mm,
and we haven't really, like you said, knock on wood, been in a situation where we've had to figure out who it would be. So right now, I couldn't really tell
yeah,
you who it is. I'm sure the coaches have one of us in mind, but I couldn't tell you who it is at all.
gotcha. Well, I am gonna let you go and so you can watch the game and get ready for your game tomorrow. Huge game tomorrow. Good luck, man. And
Appreciate you.
I'll see you on the 29th in Tucson for
Absolutely. See
representing
you in Tucson.
Vegas. Yes, sir.
Good luck to the Rattler Nation as well. Hope y'all do pull it through, even though I kind of
Thank you.
don't.
Always a class guy, my guy.
Appreciate you, man. Have a good one.
Yeah, appreciate you too, bro. Bye.
Absolutely. Bye.
Later.